Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Tiriyat Nashtapraye Shavadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 8, the author receives the orders of Krishna and Guru, text 13 onwards. Ate puna kaho urdu bahu haya, Chaitanya Nityananda bhaja kutarka chadiya. Therefore I say again, lifting my arms, O fellow human beings, please worship Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda without false arguments. So why worship? Because they are the ones, especially the Panchatattva. I mean, all Panchatattva, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, they are the ones who are going to give us the love of Godhead. Because a person who performs Krishna Bhakti does not understand Krishna Chaitanya and Prabhu Nityananda will simply waste his time. The author Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami requests everyone to take to the worship of Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu and the Panchatattva. He assures everyone that any person who does so will be successful in Krishna consciousness. यदि वह तार्किका कहे तर्क से प्रमाण तर्क शास्त्र सिद्धे यही से विमान. Logicians say unless one gains understanding through logic and argument, how can one decide upon a worshipable deity? Shri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Kara Vichar Vichar Karile Chitte Pave Chamatkar. If you are indeed interested in logic and argument, kindly apply it to the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you do so, you will find it to be strikingly wonderful. So he's saying, if you want logic and argument, just look at mercy of Mahaprabhu. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments in this connection that people in general, in their narrow-minded conception of life, create many different types of humanitarian activities. But that the humanitarian activities inaugurated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are different. For logicians who want to accept only that which is proven through logic and argument, it is a fact that without logic and reason, there can be no question of accepting the absolute truth. Unfortunately, when such logicians take to this path without the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they remain on the platform of logic and argument and do not advance in spiritual life. However, if one is intelligent enough to apply his arguments and logic to the subtle understanding of the fundamental spiritual substance, he will be able to know that a poor fund of knowledge established on the basis of material logic cannot help one understand the absolute truth, which is beyond the reach of imperfect senses. So people, scholars or other people who want to argue, they want to see everything by logic and argument. Logic and argument can only go up to a certain point, not beyond that. Even in the material life, it doesn't always work, logic and argument. But we still go with faith. So many things we just accept it on the basis of faith. So what to speak of understanding absolute truth, which is beyond. That's why his name is Adhokshaja, who's beyond our imperfect senses. The Mahabharata therefore says, Achintya khalu ye bhava natans tarkena yojayet. How can that which is beyond the imagination or sensory speculation of mundane creatures be approached simply by logic? Logic and argument are very poor in spiritual strength and always imperfect when applied to spiritual understanding. By putting forward mundane logic, one frequently comes to the wrong conclusion regarding the absolute truth. And as a result of such a conclusion, one may fall down to accept a body like that of a jackal, because his consciousness is of an animal. It's so much in ignorance. Just like logic and argument. Talk about Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra or Lord Jagannath's temple, first of all. The flag on top of Lord Jagannath's temple, it always uh, waves in the opposite direction of the wind. Once we were there, and Rath Yatra day, morning time, and because it was so crowded and Pahandi was supposed to happen, and we were just sitting on one side, and the Sanjeev Das Gupta Prabhu, who by profession is an architect from Gurgaon, so he was with me, and I had just posted these points of Jagannath temple, and we both looked at the flag on top of Lord Jagannath, and we felt the wind. Wind was blowing the other way, and the flag was fluttering the other way, fluttering the other way. How do you explain? I said, cannot explain. It just, that's how he wants it. What can you do? So if somebody starts putting logic, argument, and try to find out why the flag is waving in the other direction, what logic can you give? It's completely in the direction of the wind. So many things, so many things. Just like this chariot of Lord Jagannath, Baldeswar, all the three chariots. Earlier days, those who are from Puri or Odisha, they know we could climb on the chariots once they stop, either at Gundija temple or in the middle. If they stop overnight, we could climb on the chariot and take darshan or hug the Lord, serve him. But when there is so much of crowd, they would put some ladder that we can go on. But if there is so much of crowd, such a big line, who's going to go on the ladder? We would just climb some here or there, like monkeys, and go on the chariot. And there are small on the side, there are small temples of demigods on the side of the chariots. And we would climb, not just we, lakhs of monkeys like us would climb on the chariot, climbing, putting foot on those small temples and jumping on the chariot. But so far, I mean, I have done that for 3-4 years. So far, I've never seen any of those small temples. They just built it while they're building the chariot. Any of the temples breaking down or moving away, slipping. No, I never saw anything like that. How is it possible? You build a small wooden thing and let lakhs of people walk on it. How long will it last? But here we did that. So logic argument can only go up to certain. That's it. Jagannath getting sick. Who can even imagine this thing happen? But he does get sick. Of course, that's also his pastime, but even for the pastime, he shows he gets sick and he wants to be alone with Lakshmi Ji for 15 days. How can we understand? Some will say, you guys are crazy. It's all myth. Those who are devotees, they accept, yeah, it's Lord's pastime. Why can't he do whatever he wants to do? Lord Ram building that bridge on the ocean, it wasn't a small bridge. It was 800 miles long and 80 miles wide, 10 yojan wide and 100 yojan long. and no pillar, no column. It was a huge bridge because it was such a huge monkey army who had to cross. Because Lord Ram, when he was there in Lanka, and Vibhishan was still trying to tell Ravan, convince Ravan, give back Sita. And Ram was there with all the generals. They had made the camps outside the outskirts of Lanka. And Vibhishan was telling Ravan, look at that army. They are still crossing. So many monkeys are there. The huge bridge they have constructed, and the monkeys are still crossing, although Ram and other generals have already reached Lanka and they have made their camp. So many monkeys are coming. How in the world do you think you can fight with this army? But who can build a bridge like this? Nobody. Only Lord can. As Prabhupada said, if he wants, he can do anything. He can float such huge, huge planets in the air. So what's so difficult for him to build a small bridge like this? For him, it's nothing. It's just our minds. We cannot understand. And those who want to understand him by their mundane logic and argument, they're just completely wrong. And until they get the mercy, we get the mercy of Mahaprabhu, we cannot understand his pastimes. Despite all this, those who are actually inquisitive to understand the philosophy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through logic and argument are welcome. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami addresses them. Please put Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy to your crucial test. And if you're actually a logician, you will come to the right conclusion that there is no personality more merciful than Lord Chaitanya. Let the logicians compare all the results of other humanitarian work with the merciful activities of Lord Chaitanya. If the judgment is impartial, they will understand that no humanitarian activities can surpass those of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If they really want to see impartial. Everyone is engaged in humanitarian activities on the basis of the body. But from the Bhagavad Gita, we understand Antvantime Deha Nityasyukta Sharire. The material body is ultimately subject to destruction, whereas the spiritual soul is eternal. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philanthropic activities are performed in connection with the eternal soul. However one tries to benefit the body, it will be destroyed, and one will have to accept another body according to his present activities. If one does not, therefore, understand this science of transmigration, but considers the body to be all in all, his intelligence is not very advanced. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, without neglecting the necessities of the body, imparted spiritual advance, purified the existential condition of humanity. So without neglecting the necessities of the body, so yes, body has to be taken care of, imparted spiritual advance. Therefore, if a logician makes his judgment impartially, he will surely find that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a Mahavadanyaya avatar, the most magnanimous incarnation. He is even more magnanimous than Lord Krishna himself. Lord Krishna demanded that one surrender unto him. But but he did not distribute love of Godhead as magnanimously as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami offers Lord Chaitanya his respectful obeisances with the words Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvishma. Lord Krishna simply gave the Bhagavad Gita by which one can understand Lord Krishna as he is. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is also Krishna himself, gave people love of Krishna without discrimination. That's his mercy. And if somebody wants to use his material mind with material intelligence, with trying to see logic and arguments, try putting that to understand the mercy of Chaitanya. Nobody can understand. In fact, later on we will study Mahaprabhu's mercy on Jagai and Madhai. So I just want to touch that topic because that shows the ultimate mercy of Mahaprabhu. Ultimate. Now Jagai Madhai, they were same, Jai Vijay, who came as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, Ravan Konkaran, Shishupal Dantavakra. But that was the deal for 3 times. They would come as demons. But when they learned that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to appear, so they wanted to be part of his pastime. And they wanted to continue with their demoniac mentality. And this was to show the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu both. I'm not going to go in the detail of the pastime because that detail we'll cover in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But what we don't cover is mentioned in another book. So when Jagai Madhai were forgiven and given mercy of Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu asked them to join the Kirtan, and they were dancing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in the Kirtan. Jagai and Madhai were dancing in the Kirtan. All the devotees were dancing and chanting. And the Kirtan was so amazing that demigods also attended in the sky. They came together. And first it was explained, Yamarajji came. And Yamarajji saw everybody dancing and raising the hands up in the air. And he saw, and he started to dance and chant. And then along with him was Chitragupta, who keeps an account of everybody's sinful activities, or every activity. So Yamarajji asked, what is this happening? Although, and what is going on here? Chitragupta said, you see those 2 brothers, Jagai and Madhai? You know how sinful they were? They were so sinful. I had to let a whole team of my assistants to keep track of all the sins they are committing. And my whole team, they are on the verge of exhaustion. They could not even write down all the sins these guys are committing 24 hours. And they were exhausted. They were at the verge of exhaustion, dying, and they wanted to quit this job. We cannot work for you anymore. These guys, you want us to keep a track of their sins? They're so sinful. But what did Mahaprabhu do? Mahaprabhu took all their sins, which are just like a mountain, and he crushed them to powder, little piece of powder, and just threw them away. And not just made them sinless, he gave them Krishna prema. And hearing this, Yamarajji got down from his carrier, he goes on Bhaisa, and he started dancing, singing the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And seeing him dancing like this, Indra came. Indra asked, what happened? What happened to Yamarajji? Why is he dancing like in the Kirtan? Chitragupta told him. Indra also started dancing. Narad Muni came. He started dancing. He forgot where his Veena was and where his Tumru was. He started to dance. And seeing them like this, Shivji came. And Shivji asked, what happened here? What is happening? Yamarajji is dancing. I've never seen him dancing. And all the demigods, Indra was there, and all the demigods also came. And they were told how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, they have just forgiven all the sins of Jagai and Madhai and gave them Krishna prema. And look how they are dancing. Shivji started to dance, just like he dances during dissolution. But this time he was not angry. At the time of destruction, he's angry. But this time he was not angry. He was laughing and he was dancing. He didn't know where his damru went and laughing, and they were giving embraces to Yamaraji, and they both were dancing. Can we imagine in the sky all this? And Brahmaji came. Brahmaji, what happened here? What's happening? When he heard, he started to dance. This is the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So for him to forgive some of our sins is not a big deal. All we have to do, have faith in Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and just follow the principles, follow chanting of the holy names. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he has 64 rounds, Prabhupada is even more merciful. He said, well, just chant 16 rounds minimum every day. That's all. And what is it that Prabhupada hasn't given us? Everything he has given. How to do bhakti, how to follow, what to do, what not to do, and just follow. And he has given us so many wonderful festivals also that we can observe. And especially this Jagannath Rath Yatra. For all those devotees, because in Jagannath temple the rule is non-Hindus are not allowed. So for all those devotees who wait to take darshan of him, this is also one of the reasons for Rath Yatra. He comes out on his chariot. And it is said, anybody who sees him on the chariot on this day of Rath Yatra, he just goes back to Radha. That's it. And even this Rath Yatra, we don't see, but all the 33 crore Devi Devtas, not just them, Bhoot, Pishach, everybody, they all come to witness this Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri. Everybody. Lord of the universe is going to be on the chariot in a little while. Paundi must be still going on. So he'll be traveling. And this is proven by when he comes back and he's still on the outside on the chariot, that Adharpanna festival that is performed. So Adharpanna, they break those parts, and whatever is in the pot, it goes on the ground, and everybody we cannot see, they come and they take their share of prasada. It's just an amazing, most amazing festival, Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra. And Prabhupada's mercy, Mahaprabhu's mercy, Jagannath's mercy, we have been able to attend so many years. And just all I can say, I wish I was there. Radha Prabhu and Abhishek Prabhu are there, they're enjoying. Okay, I guess we can start. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Nice class, Prabhuji. Jai Jagannath.
Thank you, Mother. Jai Jagannath.
Jai Jagannath. Jai Jagannath, Prabhuji.
Jai Jagannath. Chalo, you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri.